Good morning. You are tuning in to Naijha Speaks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have my candle up because our guest this morning is an abundance child, and I am so happy that she was able to make time to tune in, to actually be with us. She is the owner of Drop Squat Kitchen, and without further ado, let us bring on Abundance Child. What's going on this morning, sis? I'm so glad that you were able to join me because I know you're busy. You got a lot of things going on. I mean, like single-handedly making Delaware vegan. How about that? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about you, the journey. I want to hear all about it.
Okay. Well, I started being vegan. I went to Clark Atlanta University and I started my vegan journey in 1993, actually. And it was solidified when I had my daughter in 1995, which is also the same year that I lost my grandmother, my mom's mother. And so my mom was like, come home. I can help you with your daughter, Nana. And when I came home, mind you, this is 1995. There was nothing. There, you might have found some tofuti and Action Market, maybe some Morningstar Farm products.
Right.
But that was it. There was no Whole Foods around, no Trader Joe's, no Sprouts, none of that stuff. So you had to literally go to like a Scenes market in Philly, or you had to know those places, or kind of like the Coven witch shops that had like stuff like that. And know some 7-Day Adventists, right?
Right.
So I love my family. So my family loves to eat regular soul food. It's just like any standard so-called African-American family. You know, we had regular things to eat like spaghetti and stuff like that. But when we would have our big get-togethers, those barbecues, the gumbos, the stews, the curries, all that type of stuff, I just could never get past it.
Right.
Couldn't get past it.
Right.
My mom owned an ice cream store, and she was like, I've never worked so hard in my life and made so little money. And making money, but that wasn't like the 6-figure money that she was accustomed to. And so she was like, I'm closing Molly's. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking I'm conscious and whatnot. Like, nah, what we're supposed to do is keep these businesses. We're supposed to keep these things down. She was like, listen, I'm closing in 2015. Instead of running up and down to King Simon Productions events in New York and selling, you know, platters and shea butter and all that type of stuff, why don't you start selling some of this stuff in the store? So I started my text list, and it was just like, yeah, I'm making some veggie burgers today. I'm making falafel today. I kept it really like alkaline Dr. Sabi at the time.
Right.
That text list grew to like 300 people. And so I created a menu. And by 2015, 16, my mom said, you made more money than I've ever made in my 15 years being here. You really need to consider doing this, like for real, full time. Now, I'm not going to give you Molly's. I will sell you the business, you know.
Mom's playing.
She did that, and I got like a project manager, a general manager, my brother, to help out. And News Journal ran an article, and it was history ever since. And they ran it for New Year's. Like, listen, everybody got their New Year's, whatever those things are, affirmations that they're making. There's a new place in town located inside Molly's Old Fashioned Ice Cream in Deli. It's 100% plant-based. It's unapologetically healthy. It blew me up.
Wow. Let me tell you something. I've been trying to get up there for 5 years because I remember when you all opened, I kept saying, because I had a friend that had a coffee shop up there in Middletown, Delaware. It was called Jave Coffee House or something like that. And then you all opened, I think, a couple of years after that, whatever that was. And I have family up there. I said, I got to get up there. This is bomb. It sounds good. And I just got up there this year for the vegan fish fry that plant pusher, told me about. I said, yes, I got the cousin. I'm like, yo, we're going to go out there. We're going to get this vegan food. And I've never been on that side of Delaware, and neither have my cousins. So we were introduced to like a whole nother experience. And let me tell you something. Yes, I'm going to be making those trips. I mean, look at this stuff. Let's talk about, first of all, how did you decide on the name Drop Squat Kitchen?
I was talking to my friend back in the day. I was just talking about how like they market so much stuff to our community, especially so-called Black women and just so-called Black people. So I had this radio show. I was a podcaster for 5 years, and I was like, I really have a gift with herbs and vegan food and just knowledge of nutrition and stuff like that, plant-based nutrition, because mind you, I'm doing this show from 2009 to like 2013, 2014. And you don't talk about being vegan and stuff like that. Like I had Dr. Sabi on my show, all these people, Queen Afua, Dr. Africa. But I never really talked about it from my point of view.
Right.
Showing up at the lecture, selling my food, like, oh yeah, I'll make the food. So I said, we need to have some type of show that says we need to stop eating this junk food. We need to stop eating the food that's marketed to us. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to do a show called The Food Eco Budget.
Nice.
I'm going to show people how you can be plant-based on a food stamp budget, because I have done it. I was raising 2 daughters on a food stamp budget for like a year or so. So I knew it could be done. I was living my best life off of that budget, right? So I was like, we need something like Drop Squad. You know how they were kidnapping people? We need to go and kidnap people in their homes and go through their cabinets and be like, what are you doing with this Morton salt? What are you doing with seasoning and MSG? Do you know silicon dioxide, what it does to you? And I was like, oh my God, Drop Squad Kitchen.
Oh my God. Like the name is everything, man. Look at this. Like, the name is it. Look at Abundance Child. Like this is major. One of the things I love, one, uplifting and supporting vegan Black businesses, but definitely Black sisters doing their thing. And I admire your story and what you're doing. And yeah, look at this. This is magic. You know what it is. It's that magic. So, talk about the growth of the business. How did it grow? Because you said within 5 years you kind of locked down Delaware.
Vegan anything. Like people didn't even have vegan alternatives. They knew vegetarian. And mind you, when I first became vegan, we were called vegetarians. There was the vegan name brand.
Right.
That wasn't a brand.
Right. That's how we started, Land of Kush, vegetarian cuisine. And people had to question, like, no, 100% pure vegetarian, that does exist. No egg, no dairy still.
Right. That's what it was at the time, right? So again, my mom had this platform. And even prior to 2011, 2012, when I started that text list, we had another ice cream shop located in like the Newark area. And she used to allow me to do open mics and sell my veggie burgers and my vegan versions of her menu back then. But of course, people weren't catching on to it. So again, fast forward to 2011, 2012, she allows me to incubate for $300 a month in her ice cream parlor. And I'm literally on Google, with the Google voice number, sending out text messages saying, hey, today I have King Falafel. I have vegan carrot tuna or something like that. And people were loving it. And of course, these were people that I knew from events and lectures and stuff like that.
Was that the tuna?
Yeah, that's because I made a fresh juice and I used the carrots and the celery and all of that to make the carrot tuna, and made my own mayonnaise and my own relish and everything. Because I have a brand called Unapologetically Healthy, which is my outreach program where I teach people how to make all these foods. So the text list outgrew itself and I had to actually make a menu. By the time I made the menu, it was 1 year and my mom's lease was up. And she was like, well, like I said, I'll sell you the business, but now you got to get past pet and narrow. You have to have good credit. You have to have all these things.
Right.
So I got smart. I got with my brother who had better credit. And wasn't, about having a culturally relevant organization like I am. Like I'm really like, fight the power. We're vegan for brown people, not because of, animals. They treat animals better than they treat us. I'm not vegan for that. We are the original vegans. So that's what I was about. It was really, I created Drop Squad Kitchen, just like the movie, was for our people.
Right.
And my brother was like, all that talk, like you need to study business. Like you need to understand business. You have to, which I didn't. So Again, he's my partner, so we get the credit. I'm able to have this co-signer on the lease. We become partners. And around 2018, he was like, my 2 years is up. Like, I'm done. He's just like, I'm out of this. And I kind of brought Drop Squad Kitchen back where I wanted it, because this is the era where I started selling like tacos. Like, people were starting to become more into veganism, but they were replacements. I noticed people don't want quinoa. They don't want alkaline Dr. Sabi. You know what I mean?
I love quinoa. So I feel you. You know what I'm saying? They want this. What is this?
Right. Fried chicken. That's my Garvey. I got that name from Soul Vegetarian because that was the first place that I experienced soul food in Atlanta that changed my life. And they had a Garvey sandwich. They had a kale bone sandwich made out of that they called the Garvey. It was a burger, actually. And so I was just like, that they inspired me. Even my New Jerusalem, they have a dressing called Prince dressing. They inspired my New Jerusalem dressing. So I started taking all the culture and all the things that brought me to where I was and making it into my menu, make it into what Drop Squad Kitchen looks like. Totally turned the way Drop Squad Kitchen looked, or Molly's looked like, and turned it into kind of like the way my house looks like. And
oh yeah, beautiful. I did a live of the inside. I was so impressed. You're talking about all the stuff that you have on the wall. Yeah, people, I have it on the Facebook live, on my live Black Vegetarian. Like, the energy as soon as you walk in there, I was like, this is amazing.
Thank you. So then it was like Delaware Today ran an article, and then WHYY did an article, and then I was doing cooking classes, and that was making a name for itself. So next thing you know, I'm like, oh my God, we're for real, Delaware's only vegan restaurant. And then we got Best of Delaware. And then,
of course, you better had.
I didn't get it this year, but I did get Best of the United States, top 5.
Nice.
Crazy how the Most High works. I was really almost hating for a second. I was like, I can't believe we didn't get Best of Delaware. That's crazy. Like, but that same day, before I even made a comment or a post like that, I could tell that I had spiritually evolved, because the blessing that came in it was like, well, Peter saw you as the top 5 soul food restaurant. And, I was like, oh my God.
And that matters. And that matters. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, wow. And I said, you know what, Abundance? You did a lot of self-sabotage during this process, because I started wanting to keep up with the vegan Jones trend. Instead of staying true to what my spirit said that I need to be offering to people as a service and as a ministry. And you're too worried about you selling tacos and hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that. My new menu won't have any of that on there. My new menu is closer to the alkaline stuff. Like, we will have curry, chickpeas and stuff like that.
Right.
But we offer wild rice. We're not going to offer white rice. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you're not going to offer wild rice. You just have a different type of menu. And people are moving towards more of the alkaline stuff again. If you notice, because people are finding that although you're vegan or you're eating vegan doesn't necessarily mean that it's overall healthy. It can bring you back to, the high blood pressure because of the sodium and the processed food and all that stuff. So people are looking to eat more healthier, whole food, plant-based food. I know I like my quinoa and my different grains and my veggies and all that other stuff. So yeah, I mean, you have to have something for everyone. And there's a viewer that has a question, which is a segue into what I wanted to ask you about advocating for food and social justice in your community of Delaware. So Donna is saying she's volunteering with an unemployment group and would love to know if there are any vegan food banks in the area. So I'm assuming, Donna, you're speaking in the Delaware area?
No, there's not.
There isn't.
I told you, like, I was the first vegan restaurant. There was nothing vegan, anything in Delaware. Now all of a sudden we have like 2 or 3, vegan establishments, which is great. But I do a lot of stuff for the community. Whenever anybody asks me to come and, like, I won't vend. Like, I'm over it.
It's rough.
Vending.
Vending is rough.
I love you too, Haya. That sister is an amazing vegan chef. She's doing her thing right now in Texas.
Oh, we got to get her on too.
Oh my God, yes, she is amazing and just so thoughtful and so spiritual and just so full of like life and activism, but in a way that works for us. It's not like power to the people, but you're really at home like I'm voting for Trump. You know what I mean? Or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I do best when I don't have any internal conflict. So when people ask me, hey, can you do a cooking demonstration at the library? I'm all for it. It didn't matter that they weren't really paying me money. And there was like 150 people showing up to those events on Sundays. I do a lot of stuff with a lot of artists because I love art. And I feel like they're able to tell our story without being offensive sometimes, outwardly offensive. And so people can look at it in a different way. So I like to be associated with those types of things, culturally relevant events. We feed the homeless in our store.
Nice.
Like
nice.
Literally people know that they can come in. I'm like, listen, I'm going to give y'all an hour and you're welcome to anything on the menu. Like, don't get ridiculous and be trying to bring your friends and stuff like that. You know, or when I see people on the street, I'm like, I will give them, it's whatever I have. If I have a 20, I'm giving them a 20. I don't care if they are going to do drugs with it. If my spirit told me to give that person something, I'm gonna give it. But then I started saying, and also, you know, I own Drop Squad Kitchen. Y'all walking all over the place. You need to walk right up here. I got soup, I got salads, I got smoothies, I got all that type of stuff. And one guy even offered a job. He was one of the best workers that I've ever had.
Wow.
And he loved me because he was like, I'm going through a lot right now, and I don't know if if I could trust myself with all this money around you. And
wow.
I respect you, and I just don't ever want to be on your bad side. So I'm gonna resign.
That's that energy and spirit in your play. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so I call it sacred. Because as soon as I stepped in there, it was like, yeah, this is the energy. And I resonate with that energy. So I just felt so at home. And it does that to people, you know, certain people that have a conscience with them. So you talking about how you advocated for food, or you're advocating for food and social justice in the community. Let's talk about running your establishment, because there's a lot of people opening up vegan restaurants and businesses, and you talked about vending. We're in the same boat at the Land of Kush. Like, we had to scale down big time, especially when we launched the vegan Soul Fest, and that was a headache. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was like, we can't.
It's a lot to vend. People don't really
Delaware,
understand.
the food truck, like, everybody used to be like, you need to be in that Soul Fest. I'm like, I do, but I'm not grown enough and mature enough to be in that festival.
It's a beast. So talk about the challenges you've experienced running your establishment, because folks ask us all the time, and there's just a number of things that you got to think about before you get into this type of business, especially a vegan food business. Talk to the viewers about that.
Well, I'm a visionary, and I'm not like general management material. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not food costs. I do know that I've been in business since 2012, and 2020 was the first time I did my food cost. That was what my journey has been.
Wow.
So, you know, people been talking about, you know, we hear food costs in the industry a lot, but I just really couldn't do it. I actually had to hire somebody. I paid thousands of dollars for them to do my food costs and to do a suggested new menu.
Yeah, it's a lot. What about employees and you know, just
I don't do employees anymore. Like, I tried it because in this business, people are not,
you dropping the jewels, man.
people are not gonna love, you know, your okay, let me tell you about employees. We gotta not be afraid to let people go. Just as we hire people, we need to be able to fire people as quickly as we hire them.
Right.
It's gotta be what's best for your goals and the objectives for your business, as well as your peace of mind and your state of mind. And I tend to hire people in a targeted audience, single moms, people who are in the lower income bracket, and start people at $15 an hour. I wasn't always like that, but my mom told me that she doesn't think that if you can't pay somebody $15 an hour, then you don't need to be in the business. And I was like, oh, that's hardcore. I'm the most thorough business person that I know. So I was like, all right, I'll pay myself $15 an hour. I'll pay a Naijha $15 an hour. You're 24. I'll pay Miara $15 an hour. You're 17. Those are my daughters. We could run Drop Squad Kitchen on 3-person staff. We're gonna work open to close. And we're going to sacrifice no vacation and take some mini, you know, staycays or go to the beach. Because, you know, this is Delaware. We could be at the beach in 2 hours.
Right.
and we're going to close down the store, let's say on a Friday, and come back on Monday. And, that's what we're going to do. And we really sacrificed and did that for a couple years. And next thing you know, I had a savings account. Next thing you know, I was able to invest in like events like Star Rock and Juneteenth and vegan fish fries and stuff like that. Yes. And I saw the change of quality because I did not downplay myself for the sake of trying to look good for everybody else. So because you have staff. Right. I'm only 45. I can work from 12 to 8. Which is really like 11 to 10, if you think about it, because you got to sweep and mop. But then I was like, okay, how about I work 12 to 8 and I hire somebody who just comes in and cleans? That's right. That person doesn't need to be loyal to Drop Squad Kitchen in the mission. That person just needs to come in and finish washing the dishes and wiping down all the appliances and sweeping and mopping the stuff I don't want to do at the end of the day, right? So I moved from that employment model to I do need more people. I'm getting tired. This has been 2 years of working open and closed, no days off.
Yeah. It's going to put a strain on you. Absolutely.
So I was like, I need to have a certain type of person that's going to be around me and my young daughters, impressionable daughters. My mom still comes in the Drop Squad Kitchen. My aunties, my loved ones. You can find them in Drop Squad Kitchen. Like they eat our food, right? They will pass over Popeye's chicken or a fish fry to come get my chicken and fish. And that means a lot to me. These are the matriarchs in my family. So I want to be careful about people coming in and popping off because it took us 45 minutes to deliver a vegan soul food platter to you. When I never told you that we were 15 minutes fast food, Chick-fil-A, or any of those industry standards of 2.3 minutes is the standard. And Chick-fil-A is the most boutique one out of all of them. And their standard is 2.3 minutes. There's in no freaking way are we doing that. Because, and I'm going to say this, I used your model, right? Land of Kush. You go there and you're going to see the greens there, the lentil loaf, the macaroni cheese and all that. And you're going to see people keep refilling that.
Right.
You have to have staff to do that. You have to have staff in the back, which you did. You see people prepping, come and give the new stuff, right?
And it costs. It costs an arm and a leg. Yeah, you like
okay, let's cater my business around what I can do best. I'm good at cooking small meals for my family, up to 15, 20 to 50 people at a time, right? I can do that every day. I can cook for 50 people every day. But I can do it if I could just make the macaroni and cheese and keep it refrigerated and invest in equipment that in 15 minutes, that mac will be done. So it will do what a regular oven would do in 45 minutes, I can do in 15 minutes. So every single thing that we have is fresh. And it's a whole new way of cooking that I designed. It's like cooking over an open flame with a wok outside.
That's how Greg used to do it at the festivals. I tell you, Greg spent a lot of time when he started Land of Kush, even before he met me and he was doing Jazzy Summer Nights, the Thursday festival. He did the wok thing and things like that. And then when we got the storefront, he spent about 3 years in the kitchen. It's a toll. It really is. He at this point, he's like, you know what? So you have to take that break, and you come in. You got to take that break. And the staff,
not in there no more.
The staff, I feel you with the staff. You it's hard to find because it's your business, but everybody's not going to think about that. Think about it like that.
I was like, oh my God, this literally is my ministry. This is my service to humanity. My family has a lineage of waking up to put smile on people's faces. And I realized that no matter what I do, whether it's a blog talk radio, whether it's making shea butter, or whether it is teaching, whether it is doing food, I have the hand of abundance. Whatever I put my hands on, I'm going to be blessed. I just have to be in service and I have to be doing something to help humanity, right?
Right.
So I'm like, Drop Squad Kitchen was somebody gave me the keys. They gave me the keys to a Tesla. They gave me the keys to a Cadillac. Like you really just have to nurture it like you are a child and take it seriously. And if people see you taking it seriously, then they will take it seriously. So I got rid of, right before COVID, Spirit wiped out the last of my staff. I had to suspend them and they wanted to pop off, and I ended up having to take somebody to court, or because this stuff is real, like stuff really happens, or COVID happened and they're just like, I'm not really comfortable working in the riverfront around these people. That person left. There's only 2 employees that I've ever had in the history of Drop Squad Kitchen, which is since 2012, that I don't have a very good relationship with. Every single other person still comes and eats at Drop Squad Kitchen on the regular. You see them promoting everything. So I changed my business model to a nonprofit. It is Abundance Child Ministries. Drop Squad Kitchen is like Girl Scout cookies are to the Girl Scout organization. That is my food ministry. Abundance Child Ministries is also the place for Order Mother Earth and the Girl Society for us to allow people to come in, like John Bon Jovi's model for his nonprofit restaurants. You could come in and work at Drop Squad Kitchen for food. Do you know that half of my staff work for food? Like my buyer, the people who go and get stuff, he doesn't take a paycheck. I have no employees at Drop Squad Kitchen. Everybody is sovereign. Everybody comes in their ministerial capacity. And that's how you get paid as a minister.
I love that. Like that's innovative. That is so, and that was going to be my next question about how your business is navigating through the pandemic. And those were some of the changes that you had to make to move through. But how are you moving through?
I never made so much finance in my life. I was like, COVID 2020 was great to me and my family. It was great.
I gotta bring the candle back.
Yes, abundance.
The chakra energy candle. Abundance, everyone. Love it. What is the you have an event coming up, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. How can people get connected with Drop Squad Kitchen? Is it dropsquadkitchen.com? Or what is dropsquadkitchen.com. Definitely check out the website. What are some of your hot selling items? Because I have some pictures here that I wanted to share, and I just post them up and we can run through them a little bit.
Okay, so we have our regular menu. On our regular menu, which is the menu you can actually look at online, that's the Olmec. The Olmec is our barbecue jerk chicken salad with kale, avocado, and tomato, and our new Jerusalem dressing, which is a cheesy garlic sauce.
Oh, wow. I love that. That looks so good.
That is a top seller, as well as the chicken tacos, which is it's the same flavor profile in the Marley salad. So you could get that as a sandwich, a taco, or as a salad. As of right now, like I said, that menu's changing. This is Soul Food Saturday. So yes. I thought about investing in fryers and things like that, but I noticed that every time we fry, my family, our eyes start burning and watering, and I was like, I know better. I know that anytime we heat oil, it's poisonous.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know anybody who eats fried chicken every day. I know that's a soul food item, but I don't know anybody who eats collard greens and ham hocks every day and fried chicken every day. And my living ancestors told me that they were so poor that what they ate every day was stuff like cornbread and beans. And on holidays or on special Sundays, they would have some ham and the fried chicken, and the sugar would go in the yams because you had enough to put the extra sugar. You put all of that in for holiday stuff, right? That's how we ate every day. So that's what gave me the idea of doing Soul Food Saturdays and Sundays. Those are the only days that I fry in my restaurant. Nothing is fried in my restaurant. Nothing.
Wow. You just the whole paradigm shift of this is amazing. I'm loving it. And then we got the standard chicken and waffles on the, people love that.
Hey, that's scrambled ackee and fried fishless green fries.
What? Oh my gosh. I got to get that. This is what was interesting to me. What is this?
This is another part of my ministry. I had two brothers when COVID happened that kind of quit their regular jobs and really started getting into tapping into their entrepreneurial spirit. And they were working with moss. Now, mind you, I have been selling sea moss in Drop Squad Kitchen since 2012. Could hardly barely move it. Sea moss, moringa, all that stuff. Now all of a sudden everybody's selling this stuff. I had a sea mossachino in 2012 that I had came up with. So I have two brothers that really started making the products, and the products are really good. I'm like, come on in home, put your products in my house. These brothers' stuff don't stay off on the shelf.
Wow.
And all of them, the first time I'm like, I don't take any money. Just do what you got to do.
Right.
And now I'm also helping them. Like the reason why that one is in that package, I was like, why you got your stuff in these mason jars? That's played out. That looks very home. Like you made that at home. You need to step it up. So I gave him these jars. I gave the brother these jars. I was like, these are the jars that I use for like my shea butter. I said, try it in this. He stepped it up. Look at it.
I love it. I mean, this caught my eye immediately. I didn't even know you had this in the store. Like when I come back up there, I have to really get into the store and look at everything. I'm going to spend a lot of time, and I'm really going to, because it was just a quick visit that last time. But this is amazing stuff.
Thank you.
Are there any memorable or pleasurable experiences that on your journey that you would like to mention? Something that was like, aha, this is, I've really touched someone. I'm sure there's hundreds, but that one that really stuck out.
The naming of Drop Squad Kitchen is the very first thing. Like, I know how spirit works with me. And for me to just be sitting there like, yo, we need something revolutionary, something RBG for the vegan community, something that, and I was thinking about the movie Drop Squad. I was like, yeah, we need a Drop Squad Kitchen. Oh my God. I can't get over that.
I feel it. I feel the energy.
I can't get over the fact that everybody's like, what's a Drop Squad? What's a quad? You know what I mean? Making fun. Even my own family, like, why don't you call it Vegan Soul? Or you need the SEO, search engine optimization, to pick up. And I stood with it. I was like, nah, it's Drop Squad Kitchen.
Nah, the naming is so important. That caught my eye. I was like, yo, what is this?
You know what I mean?
It had,
that's us. That's unapologetically us. If they don't know, y'all need to know.
Exactly. Upcoming events. You got some major happening. Talk to us about this. This is Saturday, right? Coming up. What's going on?
Listen, COVID has happened. I haven't been to a good concert since Toby and Wigway in Philly. I'm like, Delaware never has anything popping off, as far as I'm concerned, that is like culturally relevant as far as hip hop and vegan food all at the same time.
Right.
I was like, I need to. So that's what I do. I make food that I eat and that my family eats, and I create events that I want to go to. Right. I couldn't go to Odun Day this year. Who's going to have a vegan fish fry, right? So that's what this is. This sister, she spits so much profoundness, and she's so inspiring that I want my children to be in the audience. I want you to be in the audience. I want people to hear her say, I didn't just get like this overnight. I spent 4 or 5 hours looking in the mirror. I got scars on my wrist from cutting my wrist because I thought it was over with. I'm taking, pills because I thought I was too fat. Like her with millions of followers right now, people who perform with like people like Black Thought from the Roots, and like she kind of made it commercially. Like, we need to hear this sister.
She's a goddess.
Yes, she is. Goddess gang.
Yeah, she performed at the Baltimore Hip Hop Green Dinner last October, and yeah, the energy there is just fire. It really is. So, folks, I mean, I don't know how many tickets you have remaining, but I'm gonna post this up. You want to go to vegandelaware.com because it's limited. I think the seating is 50.
Yeah, and I really only wanted 25 people, to tell you honestly, because like I said, we're a nonprofit. So if I sold 25, and if I sold anything over 25, I'm kind of like barely breaking even. You know what I mean? But for me, I want to have a very highly intimate soul food experience.
This is amazing. And
she curated the menu with me. Like, we were on the phone for almost 2 hours talking about her music and where she's at and what Sharecropper's daughter means and what should the food look like.
Right. Right.
So this is not our first time cooking together. This is just like, that's why I have that. Like, she is a foodie, so I got to come correct on this because she will talk about me. You know what I mean? So I have to come correct because she loves food.
Yes, this is, this, folks, vegandelaware.com. dropsquadkitchen.com. You're listening to Abundance Child on Naijha Speaks. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you learned. If you liked the show today, this is major. Before I get to the final question, before we leave off, because we're gonna miss you, and everybody make sure they get up to Drop Squad Kitchen in Delaware, because I'm telling you that energy is serious. Shout out to our the supporters of Naijha Speak, a veg fund, a welfare world, women funders and animal rights, Eat the Change, collectively, Jane Unchained News, and individual supporters like you all viewers. I appreciate it. Love, love, love. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on NaijhaSpeaks.com. Abundance Child. We're going to be signing off in a second. What tip or piece of advice would you like to leave the viewers with before we go?
Do you. Always be you. We have our own eyes, our own mouth, our own ears, our own mind for a reason. Do not get caught up in what is constantly marketed to us via YouTube, via Instagram, via TV, via your mom, your father, your colleagues, your work. Everybody's here for their own personal mission and destiny.
Right.
And what just happened? Somebody called me and it knocked me off.
That's okay.
Our own personal mission and destiny. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to answer if you were on your errand of your ancestors, why you were here. So cut out all the noise. And this is the time right now. We saw it through COVID. This is the time right now, like how they're taking away simple pleasures. Simple things like being able to breathe. You know what I mean? You got to wear a mask all the time.
Right.
If you never listen to spirit or your first mind, this is the time to do it right now, because there is no going back. So that's what I want to tell everybody is like, listen to your first mind. And because I'm telling you from experience, when I think about how much I beat up on myself because nobody else was vegan, nobody else had locks, nobody else had natural hair, nobody else was immunizing and homeschooling. And I got so much grief from the community. And I kind of dumbed myself down. I even dumbed my menu down. Like I said, tacos and hot dogs. Because that's what the people wanted, but that's not who I am.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm vegan soul food. I feel like I do a really good job at this. And I beat up on myself so much that I didn't even know who I was. I was only acting like what everybody else wanted me to be. This is what a vegan restaurant should look like, Abundance. This is what a boss should look like, Abundance. This is what I'm like. By the time COVID came, I'm like, my mind said that just to be still, you can keep doing what I have to do what you got to do to stay in compliance, but just keep doing you and you will prevail, because you're doing God's work, not man's work, not the government's work.
Right. You have to pave your own way, and you're doing that. You got to make a way when there's no way. And if anyone knows how to do that, our people know how to do that. We just have to,
remember?
And inner God, use our inner God to do all of that. And you are definitely doing it. You have to be you, do you, and make it work for you. So again, I appreciate you coming on. I know you got a busy schedule. Donna, Maryland, I'm going to reach out to you about the food banks in Maryland or food options. So thank you for clarifying that, Donna. So I'll connect with you on that. Abundance Child, I appreciate you coming on, sending many blessings and prayers for a successful event. And until I come up and see you again, please be safe and be well. And to all the viewers, please be safe and be well. And blessings.
Receive. Thank you.